Folks, good morning. It is Earthmaster here checking in with a severe weather update for parts of the South today, March 17, 2021. It is 8:15 my time here in California, and the Storm Prediction Center is talking about a potential tornado outbreak today in parts of the South. That includes areas in Alabama, Mississippi, areas. You're underneath a high risk watch for severe weather today. We're talking about potentially EF5 long track tornadoes, very large hail over 2 inches, and some straight line damaging winds. A very high probability throughout Mississippi and the Alabama area. But don't let this little high risk fool you, because the areas in the moderate and enhanced areas, including the slight and marginal areas in the green, are very capable of producing some severe weather hazards as well, including tornadoes. But the high risk category basically means that this is the area with the most dynamics, the most potential when it comes to the convection in the atmosphere for thunderstorms to produce severe weather. As I mentioned, the hail probability is very high in this region. Wind damage in excess of 65 miles per hour, so 65 knots or greater, I should say, within 25 miles of point. Tornado probability right there is very likely in the south. And as I mentioned, that includes areas as Birmingham, Jackson, Hoover areas. Memphis is in there in the moderate category. New Orleans, all throughout these states here. Be weather prepared, be on alert, be on guard, have a safe weather plan. And most of all, pay attention to the EBS systems if they come on, the emergency broadcast alerts. What I say? EBS. Today. If you have a weather radio, check. Make sure you keep that on. Stay updated on social media. Post, your local news. That is the thing to do today. It's going to be a very dangerous day, folks, and I hope things don't play out the way they're thinking it's going to play out. But it's looking very likely that it could. I do want to show you guys just real quick the current radar imagery in this region. This is over the Louisiana area currently. You got Shreveport up here going into Arkansas. Parts of Texas out here. There's a line of storms moving to the east, northeast, and that will happen all day today. That's kind of not concerning the most. What's concerning the most is going to be discrete individual thunder cells that are going to be popping up here into the Mississippi and the Alabama region. We're talking about discrete, not isolated, but individual thunderstorms that will not be like a line of storms that we're seeing back over here. It will be individual storms that are more than likely going to produce a tornado in every single one of them. Right now, the radar is not showing too much, but I do want to show you guys a little weather model here on the Tropical Tidbits page, the HRRR model, which is the high reflectivity radar imagery of what they believe is going to be taking place later this afternoon here. This is at, what do we got here, 14Z time? Hold on a second here. Sorry, 19Z time is this run. So we can go back probably to 18Z, and you can see these storms start to form individually, right? These are individual thunderstorms, not associated with a line of storms similar to this. These individual storms are the ones to watch when it comes to the rapid rotation and the producing of a tornado. And these tornadoes could be very long tracked. EF5 possibilities are very high today. Of course, EF5 being the strongest tornadoes on the scale. This is pretty significant here. We're talking about Mississippi being underneath the gun, Alabama. All these areas outside of here, too, are very likely to see a tornado. But I believe the highest amount of tornado counts that we're going to see are probably within this region here of Mississippi and Alabama region. Everyone, let's go ahead and zoom in here real quick, folks, and check out you guys can probably see the county lines here where these storms are going to just develop and pop up. if your county is within this area, you definitely want to be on guard today. And let's go back here to the 19Z time and show you guys a little bit more detail of these storms and the dynamics of them. This is, once again, let me back out just a tad bit because I don't want to show too close there. So into the Mississippi area, Alabama, you guys need to be prepared today. This is looking pretty scary on this weather model. Every single one of these storms here could produce potentially a tornado. Definitely going to be a lot of potential there this afternoon, just looking at this map. If your counties are underneath one of these bad boys, and even if they're not, you need to be on guard today. You know, I know a lot of folks have to work. You got to work, right? You got to pay some bills. You have to take care of your family. You got to put food on the plate. I get it. But at the same time, you know, make sure all of your family knows that the weather potential today is nothing to joke around with. I think if I was underneath this area, I would probably call in sick today. That way I can take care of my family. I'm not telling anybody to call in sick, but I would personally myself, just to make sure that I can be at home if I need to protect my family, my animals, and property when it comes to hail damage and you know, the tornado potential that's going to happen out here today. It's not a day to mess around with. I can't stress that enough there. So that's what they believe is going to happen today, folks, with these storms popping up. Of course, the later as it gets in the afternoon, these storms will kind of combine and join and form a line, but the tornado potential still stretches down here. You can see these individual discrete hook echoes, those indicative of rotation in a storm, and those could be specifically tornadoes right there. Those little hooks all along this line is very possible. Let me get this here real quick. I've just been having a fun morning without caffeine, let me tell you. And then let's go ahead a little bit further. You can still see that activity popping up. Look at that. Even into the later hours there, most of these storms are still staying individual until it looks like a little bit later tonight. Then they start forming a line in the region, but that's, you know, you're not out of the woods there with that activity. Alabama, you guys got to be cautious tonight. It's just a scary day. That's all I'm going to say. It looks pretty, it looks a little on the dangerous side, folks. Okay. What else was I wanting to cover here real quick? I didn't want to make too long of a video. This is actually my third retake of it. I'm not going to go into details. A little bit of summary here, folks. Let's read some of this wording. Double check it, make sure I got everything good. Yep. Let's read some of this wording here, okay? From the Storm Prediction Center, folks. Okay, they're out of Norman, Oklahoma. They do, you know, this is their job. This is what they do. They forecast weather. But they're not your typical weatherman. You know, they're not like your local TV guy where it says it's going to be sunny today and it rains. But then again, you know, weather is hard to predict. But the risk that they're throwing out there today is something to take note of. There is a high risk of severe thunderstorms this afternoon into tonight. From northeastern Louisiana, southeastern Arkansas, across central Mississippi and Alabama. A significant tornado outbreak with long track intense tornadoes is expected to begin this afternoon. Is expected. There's no maybe possibility. These guys are throwing out the word expected. Across parts of Louisiana and Arkansas, and then spread eastward and peak this evening into tonight across Mississippi and Alabama. So yeah, Arkansas, all those areas up there to the north that didn't really cover on there are in that moderate category. So very high probability as well. I kind of just touched base on that high level right there around the Mississippi and Alabama area. But that also includes parts of, it looks like about half of the state of Arkansas. And even so, folks, once again, in the enhanced and slight areas and marginal areas, you can see severe weather. Very possible. Let's see what else here. Not going to go into the dynamics of it. Primary tornado outbreak this afternoon and tonight. The ongoing convection across eastern Arkansas. Let's see here. Damaging winds, large hail, and a couple tornadoes. In the wake of this convection, some air mass recovery is expected. Yeah, this is going to be a day and night event, folks. This is something to definitely be on guard about. If you live around any of this area, folks, within the marginal all the way up here, even parts of Oklahoma is getting in on that action as well. Parts of Texas, eastern Texas, looks like around Jasper, Texas area, into Louisiana, all areas to the east over here as well. You definitely, even Georgia there, right? Isn't that Georgia? Need to get prepared, folks, if you haven't already. I will be definitely hoping for the best. I'm hoping that this doesn't play out. That way, the potential for damage is less likely. But the dynamics that these folks are talking about, the storm predictions folks are talking about, is are there, and they're kind of playing the part. They're kind of playing along. There's a lot of moisture to work with coming up here from the Gulf. A lot of warmer, moist air being funneling in with this low pressure system that's kind of spinning off here over right around the Oklahoma, Texas area. Be spinning, producing convection ahead of the main system, the frontal system right here. And that's kind of where this area in here is for the highest probability of that severe weather. So just be prepared, folks. I will try to keep kind of updating a couple weather pages as well, but I will try to keep folks here on this channel updated with another update here soon. Well, actually, as the morning and afternoon progresses, it's still pretty early here in my area in Northern California. But, things are looking like it's going to be a adrenaline type day out there in the South. Just be on guard, folks. It's a significant tornado outbreak is expected with long track, intense tornadoes. Nothing to mess around with. Be safe, be prepared. But, just don't strictly rely on social media posts or YouTube videos. You want to pay attention to official reports, National Weather Service reports, the emergency broadcast alert systems. Those are the ones that are going to be issuing those warnings and whatnot. But most of all, I think the best alert system could be yourself. Your own two eyes, your family. Keep your eyes on the sky today. Be weather observant. If you don't have radar on your phone or any type of weather app, I would suggest getting it. The weather apps are also really good at producing or giving out severe weather warnings and watches and whatnot. You definitely need to get one of those if you don't have it already on your phone. So, yeah, it's just going to be an absolutely crazy day with the discrete individual storms that will be popping up ahead of this line today. Stay safe, folks. We're going to jump back over here to the Earthquake Live 3D stream. And hope everyone has a good, safe day. I will be back a little bit later on with with updates and whatnot. For now, stay safe, and we'll chat you guys a little bit later.